speaks to that narrative as well, as in fact one of the battle formations in the game for your Age of Sigmar games is Dark Oath Horde, where if you take an army of Dark Oath, they can just keep coming back and keep coming back all the time, which is great. Other really cool mechanics in the book as well for gamers. You can pledge units to the Dark Gods during the game and gain bonuses as they go. If you're a narrative player, there's 3 Path to Glory campaigns in there to pledge your oaths to the Dark Gods. And there's an Army of Renown in here as well, which you're really excited about.
I am indeed. So this is Be'lakor's Legion of the First Prince. So as we know, the Slaves to Darkness, they're not one big monolithic faction. In theory, Archaon is in charge of everybody, but Be'lakor's got his own dealings going on, his own machinations. And so if you want to play a Slaves to Darkness army, there's just a little bit different. Be'lakor's Legion of the First Prince is where you want to go, because you can take the Legionnaires, the Centurions, you can take lots of demons as well. It's very cool.
It's even got its own enhancements, spell, manifestation, or battle traits. Everything. It's just so cool to see. And there's something else we really liked as well, looking through this book, which is one of the regiments of renown in there. It's called God-Marked Ascendant, and this essentially allows you to use the amazing Demon Prince miniature in any of the 4 armies you can see on the left there. So the Blades of Khorne, Substance, Zinch, Magikin of Nurgle, Head Knights of Slaanesh can all have access to that Demon Prince using their army.
Oh, that's cool.
The God-Marked Legion ability basically will give him their keyword, and he can gain all the buffs from that army.
That's so cool. Now, I've never been much of one for Chaos before. I can feel myself being overcome by the Dark Gods.
Well, that's it. The kit comes with so many options. You know, you can make him corn flavoured or Slaaneshi flavoured, etc. And this is the perfect opportunity to put him in those armies.
Frankly, it's finding an excuse to put a great model in your army, not what Warhammer was all about. Okay, so there we go. Slaves to Darkness coming very, very soon for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. But now it's time to take a look at some big boxes that are on the way soon.
Okay. That looks like sisters to me. Let's see. Tau and sisters. Ooh. I saw some Terminators. Dark Angels. Ooh, I see some Necrons. Wow. They're coming out with a lot. That's cool. Warhammer Fantasy. I see the Orcs. The Orcs. The Empire. Orcs, Empire.
So there we go.
There's the ogres in there too.
Ogren, of course. And this year is no exception. Some fantastic battle forces coming our way in the holiday season. You know what? They're a bit different this time round. Now, as always, the battle forces are a great way to start collecting your army. It's a given, right? And they're a great thing to have for a holiday gift, or even to treat yourself over the holiday period.
For me.
For you.
Yes.
You get me one, I get you one. That's sorted. but what's also good here as well is they've been specifically designed so that going alongside either the combat patrols or the spearheads, there's not going to be too much duplication, so that you can have a nice big army if you get both boxes. And furthermore, they've all been designed in such a way that they represent a specific detachment or battle formation in either 40k or AOS, which is really clever.
Very graphic.
So let's go through and see. I know they flashed up on screen there. Let's have a really good look at each one.
Okay.
Starting off with, I think, your favourite.
Indeed. So this is the Tau Retaliation Cadre.
Tau, okay.
Favorite aspects of Tau.
Good old Tau, space communists.
Other battle suits. This gives you a Riptide, a Broadside, a Ghost Keel, and a Commander.
Yeah.
4 massive battle suits and so much firepower.
It's just the coolest models. I really think the Ghost Keel is one of my favourite models in 40k. They just look great, don't they? And the Retaliation Cadre is itself a detachment.
I believe that's a big
old
old railgun in the back.
They make your guns super powerful and blow your enemy away with even.
They got their drones.
So yeah, that's coming soon. Up next, we've got the Necrons and the Hypercrypt Legion.
Wow.
There we have the Catan.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen the Catan. That's really interesting. So the lore behind them is that they are basically star gods, which are powerful beings that the Necrons were able to use in their war with the Great Old Ones. So very, very rare to see a model for that.
It really draws you in.
It makes a perfect box to be a gift, kind of like like a model you might not buy yourself, but someone's
Yes.
bought it for you. It's just really, really cool. The Hypercrypt Legion itself is a detachment. Again, it allows you to phase your models out in the middle of the game and to zip them around all over the place, which is really cool. Very Necron, and that's just a great box set. Up next, we've got the Adeptus Sororitas. Here we have the Penitent Crusader host, and the
Penitents.
host in the rules makes them
With
all
some
faster,
rhinos,
stronger,
priests,
hit harder, and all the things you don't want to use, like
flagellants.
the Repentia,
Yeah.
and all those engines. Just a bit terrifying, really. What a great box.
And you mentioned as well that these work really well with the combat patrols.
for sure.
And this one in particular, I think, the two.
They finally gave Sister some faces.
Nice big army there, definitely here. So grab hold of that one. Then we've got some big stompy war machines. It's the Imperial Knights.
Wow, a Knight's box.
Lance. They just look great, don't they?
Sorry.
Armigers or Helverins make that as a paladin or an errant. And I suspect this is a bit of.
I think that's a paladin.
Yeah.
That if you got two of these boxes, I think that's a full army.
That's a great shout. Yeah, it'd be a wonderful way to start your force and complete it pretty much at the same time.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got the Dark Angels. This is the Inner Circle Task Force. And talking of centerpiece miniatures, is there anything much better than a Primarch? There's the lion right there, leading the way.
The lion.
Deathwing. And it just looks
Is
great.
he in the box?
Lion, notably the only person important enough to have two Watchers in the Dark with
That's
him.
an important lore fact. Yeah, the Deathwing Task Force, the Inner Circle Task Force, is indeed a detachment from the Dark Angel Codex.
Yeah.
It lets you sort of have loads of great enhancements and strats for Deathwing, but also nominate an objective and blow enemies away that are nearby to it, which is cool. So there we go, it's the 40k ones. Let's take a look at the Cities of Sigmar battle forces. And up first, we've got the
Sisters of
Foray
Sigmar,
from,
okay.
Cities of Sigmar there. Yeah, this
The
is,
guys, they said the
this is
Empire.
another great box.
Yeah, but
And I was talking about the fact that that it goes alongside the Spearhead. Well, this is ideal because the Spearhead's got your steel helms and a cannon. This has got your Fusiliers and a cannon.
Two cannons.
Right, exactly. And if you got both, you'd have a great army. This has got the Fusilier Major at the back, the huge ogre Hulker there at the back. You've got the Command Corps at the front, and more Cavaliers as well.
Oh, that's
It's just what a set of miniatures there.
excellent models. Very interesting. Very cool.
Another Marshal there as well. Yeah, it's a great all-round box set, that one. And you could use it as your Ironweld Guild army to add inches onto all your shooting weapons, because there's loads of those, or your Bulwark Zone battle formation, and you could fortify your army before the game begins and have them all dug in, which is great. Up next, an army that would never be dug in, it's the Auric War Clans and the Wrecker Mob box. Oh man, that looks big and angry, and I love it.
This is another clear example.
I love the giant boar. That is so cool.
You can build it in a couple of different ways. And that's another thing with these boxes, is that you don't have to build them exactly as you see on screen. You can make of them what you want.
Yeah, there's Ravagers either side at the front. You can build as one of two different ways. And I mean, those boys are just a terrifying wall of muscle and armor. It's one of my favorite boxes, and without.
Those are really, really excellent orc models. It's been a while since they've gotten love in the fantasy world, so this is so great. I'm excited.
Up next, I think the one you got your BD.
Makes me want to build a fantasy army.
Flesh Eater Courts, Charnel Guard Jury. Tell me about these guys. There's a lot of those Morbeg Knights at the back.
You get 6 Morbeg Knights here, and as you said, if you mixed it in with the Spearhead, that's 9.
That's scary.
Yep. So the centerpiece for this is Grand Justice Gormain. Now, he's one of the few Flesh Eaters that has a little bit of sanity left. He's able to see things as they are. However, that means that he has to kind of dial it up a little bit in order to not be found out. Hence his intestinal wig.
Yeah, sure. When the only guy in your army that's got the
it's intestinal wig.
Got problems.
That's so cool.
Really cool box set, that one. I'm terrified of it. The last one we have here is the Maggot King of Nurgle.
Awesome Nurgles.
Shadowblight Cyst. And that is an absolutely beautiful box of miniatures. You've got the Rotbringers on the left at the front. The stunning Harbinger of Decay in the centre.
Yeah.
And the Plague Lords at the back as well. What a great box that is.
I know a huge amount of people that have picked up that Harbinger of Decay just to paint that model. It is that perfect kind of centerpiece, or put it on the mantelpiece kind of one.
I reckon there'll be a few right now over at Essen at Golden Demon. I reckon we'll see a few.
They even got a bell for fantasy, which is awesome.
The Affliction Cyst battle formation, so that your Blight Lords, those guys flying on huge rock flies, can just be picked up and put down somewhere else in the battle to really cause your opponent problems.
They're already terrifying.
Just a great box. And again, ideal alongside the Spearhead, which is full of Plague Bearers. So brilliant. there we go. That's the battle forces that are coming very shortly for the holiday periods. They are available while stocks last, so if you want hold of one, make sure you get it as soon as you can. Shall we have a look at something that no one knows about yet?
Ooh.
Right? Let's go.
I haven't seen anything from my Ultramarines yet, but they have some really cool launches coming. Great time to start Sisters for sure. Looks like a new game. No?
I mean, come on. What do you take us for?
Without a doubt, the most iconic artifact weapon in the old world.
I mean, as soon as we knew we were working with Warhammer...
Oh, his hammer. For Karl Franz.
This was the one. Galmraz, the Skull Splitter. For us, this is Warhammer. If I picture Warhammer in my head, I have Galmraz very present in there.
So this one's the big one. What we then realize is that when you scale that up to life size, the proportions are not correct. I mean, it's made for mini to stand out.
It was really cool to kind of see the design team work through these problems iteratively over the course of a series of sculpts and models.
Whilst I'm not going to claim to be any kind of living personified Smednir, I've definitely put my heart and soul into this piece.
It's unbelievably important to the lore of the old world, and to bring it to life in full scale in a way that cosplayers and LARPers can use. It's such an honor.
I'm not saying I want this, but I'll take 3. This is so cool. That's as iconic for 40K as like a bolt gun. Like, that's insanely cool. I'm gonna have to see.
So we've seen a lot of Warhammer, but that is the Warhammer.
The Warhammer. The Warhammer that the game's named after.
Indeed.
Galmraz, of course, the iconic weapon from both Warhammer the Old World and all the way through to Age of Sigmar, of course. Tell me why it's so important to Warhammer.
So this is the Warhammer that started it all off. So this is the hammer that Sigmar picked up after he came and saved Kurgan Ironbeard, the High King of the Dwarves. So originally it was made for them, but after he arrived and he picked it up and he slew a whole host of orcs and he saved the High King gifted it to him.
That's amazing. What a history. And now, after all of that, folks at home can own it themselves and have it on their mantelpiece at home.
That's it, or is perfect for cosplay.
Exactly that. Now I've seen the dwarves made out of Gromril.
Yes.
Now this one is made of injected molded foam with a glass core, so it will sit on your mantelpiece and not fall through it. But yeah, it's going to be ideal for displaying all your cosplay, and we're going to have get one in here shortly.
Well, I think it would work perfectly with our arrangement of other weapons.
Pride of place right in the back. Wow, can't wait for that to come. Let's have a quick talk about something else now. When we move on from a big Warhammer to very, very small Warhammer, let's talk about Legions Imperialis. And we're going to start off by talking about the Mechanicum.
Okay.
Because while I've got you on camera and I've got you in the seat, and you're our lore master, I wanted to ask you, who are the Mechanicum in Horus Heresy?
So the Mechanicum are the precursors to the Mechanicus that we see in the 40k universe. And basically after the Treaty of Olympus Mons, where the Emperor basically united Terra and Mars, the Mechanicum are the faction that basically have... they provide the manufacturing base. They've made all the weapons, they've made ships, you name it. They have essentially fueled the Great Crusade, and as these expeditionary forces go out and claim new planets, they've claimed various...
There's a lot of stipulation why he gave them such leeway.
Of course you do. Naturally.
Number one is
now,
expediency.
We've already seen the battle group that got revealed on the community quite recently. But I wanted to ask you while you're here, these all look so exotic and cool. Tell me about these miniatures, man. What are they?
Oh, we've got a beautiful range for the Legio Cybernetica here. We've got the Vorax there up on the left. They're sort of like insectile ones. One of my favourite things in here is the Arlatax. You'll see them up in the middle, in the top there. Now, we've had rules, we've had lore for them, but this is the first time we're getting a miniature.
Oh, that's super
so
exciting.
these are...
yeah.
They've got jetpacks. So you just imagine
Horus
that
Heresy finally getting
yourself
some love in the model world. That's
sort of
very
just
cool.
flying towards you. Absolutely brilliant.
My Solar Auxiliary forces will be quaking in their boots. But let's have a look at some of the smaller miniatures, perhaps. There we go. What we got here?
Plenty of tech thralls, some myrmidons there in the middle.
Yeah.
The Domitar.
Oh, they look so good. I love the fact that they're so detailed and look so uniformed in this color scheme like this as well. It's such variety to the forces.
This must have expanded that army significantly. Holy moly, look at all these models.
In this one for the Mechanicum, it's just absolutely fantastic. Have such a range.
Now, you're probably sat at home thinking, Games Workshop, we've already seen these. Why are you talking about Mechanicum? And the reason we are is because, well, the Mechanicum's just one half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these models can be used by the Mechanicum.
And
but
the dark.
The Dark Mechanicum.
Yeah, Dark Mechanicum.
Okay.
So the Dark Mechanicum are essentially the traitorous elements of the Mechanicum. So during the
Heretics.
Horus, unsurprisingly, took half of the legions with him. He took a bunch of planets, some of the Imperial army.
That
but as
guy, man,
part of
seriously.
that, he's a right scamp. He also caused a schism between certain elements of the Mechanicum. So he convinced a whole cadre of them, including Kelbor Hal, the Fabricator General. And how he did that is he offered them various prescribed technologies and access to things. And one of the things he did is he opened the vaults of Moravec. And within there was various technological developments and plans and things. And one of those came to fruition as the Serperos Overlord Heavy Stalker, which you can see here.
Wow. Oh, there's the miniature.
Yes.
Look at that. It looks so insectile and strange.
Yes,
I love it.
You can imagine it scuttling across the sands of Mars.
Absolutely can. It's
I don't
great.
know, man.
So this is the
That's a
kind of
little
thing
weird.
from the Dark Mechanicum.
I know it's
Force.
Dark
Now,
Mechanicum, so it's supposed to
do they carry
be
the same
kind of a
weapons that
heretical
the
machine
Mechanicum
thing, but
To a degree.
I don't know.
The vast majority will
Insector.
be, relatively
Not
familiar
my
to
thing.
those who play the Mechanicum. But you've also got horrifying weapons like the Exoplanar Bombard. Because you can imagine that the Imperium is pretty okay with horrific weapons.
Yep.
So to have a prescribed weapon by the by the Imperium means that it must be terrifying.
That's banned by the Imperium. Is that bad? That's crazy. Well, these guys are absolutely terrifying. Now, I wanted to say what's really exciting here is this is the first time in any of Games Workshop's games, I think, that we actually be able to play the Dark Mechanicum as a playable faction on the tabletop.
You know, we've
Oh,
seen kind of been in
see,
the
that's
faction
why they were
as a
showing
full
off all
faction.
those
Yes.
models.
This is the first time.
Really exciting.
Now, if you want the rules for these, and for the Mechanicum, you're going to need to grab the Rise of the Dark Mechanicum book.
Another book.
Inside here, we've got all the things we expect. So we've got loads of lore, we've got the rules, you've got battle groups, plenty of beautiful models, and one of my favourite things, unsurprisingly, is the narrative of the fall of Magma City. So if you're familiar with the Mechanicum, maybe you've read some of the Horus Heresy books, you'll have heard of this Pluvial Maximal's city that eventually gets destroyed during the Schism of Mars, and this is the first time we see the Stalkers in action.
This is absolutely brilliant. So there we go. That's the first of the Dark Mechanicum we've seen. There's going to be more coming, of course, scuttling its way towards us. And if you want to see that, of course, keep your eye on
kind of a
website, specifically on Heritage
the other
Thursdays.
the other Mechanicum models I thought were excellent, but
now,
their
Alex,
new
that's
model,
all a bit grim.
it's
dark
kind of
and
like
bleak. Should we have a look at something a bit more light-hearted?
kind of Necron-y.
Feast in the field.
All right.
Pie crust from compressed carb bars and fill it with a tin of Munitorum issued nutrient paste. Bake it on the exhaust of a Lehman Russ until it's piping hot. Sausages are a great snack when behind enemy lines. To cook them, borrow a shovel from one of the Kriegers, ignore the heavy breathing, stick it over a fire, and give them a sizzle. As it's a special occasion, you can dunk them in a mug of gravy, too. You should be able to find a chem-frozen bird in the officer's mess. To roast it, slather it with promethium gel, set it alight with a shot from your las gun, and run. Remember, too much and it'll be cremated. Too little, and you might as well eat a mortar round. Bon appetit!
Is it a cookbook?
What a cool model.
Oh, I thought they were gonna
Provisionally prepared.
put out a
This is one of our
cookbook for a second
favorite
there.
models, and there's usually several of these scattered throughout the year, but this is the holiday season one.
Yeah, not not wrong. It makes me feel just happy and joyous looking at it. And it's just the coolest little model. A really nice little painting project, perhaps for the holidays. It's designed to be painted and enjoyed, really. But I've got questions, right? So we're in the grim darkness of the far future, Alex. These are ratlings. How have they got themselves a lunchbox full of pies, chicken, and sausages?
So ratlings are not typically trusted, and they're not greatly liked.
They probably stole over some nobles.
Usually provided with the tools that they need. However, that means that they've taken upon themselves to acquire those. And whilst you're at it, why not raid the officer's mess? Grab as much food as you can.
There's a major gone without his chicken dinner somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere, some chef is about
Bare minimum major, and that's his like expensive meal.
It's just a great miniature. Such good fun. And yeah, it's going to be available over the holiday period, coming soon while stocks last. So get hold of that if you possibly can. Don't miss this one. It's going to be a great model to paint up. Hey, do you know what? You like ratlings.
I like ratlings.
I like ratlings. Do you want to see some more ratlings?
Oh yes.
Let's go.
Kill Team, okay. It's another smaller game of 40k. It's like squad based. I see some orcs. Ratlings. They're excellent snipers in the lore. Alright. So it's ratlings versus orcs. That'd be a cool fight.
Okay, that is Kill Team Brutal and Cunning, the new expansion for Kill Team coming real soon. Now, of course, here we are today, 5th of October, is the release date of Hivestorm. It's in the stores right now. I saw it in Warhammer just now. So if you're
I gotta get back into Kill Team.
Great, thank you very much indeed. Carry on painting Kill Team. It's fantastic fun, and we want to see your models and your games with the hashtag new Kill Team. But if you're a big fan of Kill Team, and if you're not, why not? But you're going to love Brutal and Cunning, the new expansion, which comes with 2 brand new Kill Teams and some scenery as well. We've got to talk about this. But first of all, before we talk about the insanely cool miniatures, Alex, tell me where the action takes us. We're still on Volcus, right?
Yeah, we are indeed. So we're in the undermuzzle, which is basically under the massive ballistus in High Basilicus. And basically, so the orcs attempted to invade because who doesn't want a giant gun? And
Big Dacket, right?
Yeah. They landed on the moon and they were going to prepare an invasion force. But unsurprisingly, the Imperium went, I don't think so, and blew up the moon.
I think they were aiming for the fleet, but accidentally hit the moon. Still destroyed the fleet, though. Never mind, that's quite good fun.
Yeah, you'd assume that you killed all the orcs, but no.
No, you never do. There's always a few orcs left over.
As any mech boy who's worth his dacker has basically decided that they're going to try and take this opportunity while everything's going on Volcus to basically take control of the gun.
And you know, if there's an orc invasion taking place, who better to send out than the rattling snipers?
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? It's the people I'd go to straight away. We've got to take a look at the miniatures in this box because it's the thing that is blowing all our minds. We'll start with the orc faction first. This is the orc kill team, Razgor's Wreckers, who basically have brought all the rockets to the fight and like shooting them and blowing stuff up.
So you've got half your team is heavily kind of like melee focused, and your other half is ranged focused. But unfortunately, the melee side don't particularly like the range side because they feel that these guys are taking all the glory shooting their rockets.
these are tank busters, which we've seen in 140,000 before. So if you're an orc player, you'll love to get your green hands on these as well. And they just love shooting rockets so much. They've actually got a rule in the game called Tanked Up, whereby if they shoot their rockets, they get to have an extra APL next turn. So they actually get literally hyped up by shooting at stuff, which is really, really cool.
Oh, jeez.
Take a look at some of the miniatures, some of our favourites we picked out. This is the Wrecker Boss Knob, the most tooled up orc in the kill zone. He's about as tough as a Space Marine and twice as hard. And he's come tooled up with all of his kit. He's even got a personal rocket pistol, which I love.
He does, and when he's fired it, he's got another chopper on his back.
And a huge hammer as well, just for crumping heads when he runs out of rockets. He's great, this guy. The
rocket pistol looks like it just has a giant piece of metal that it's pushing the rocket, or like a platform for it.
That, orcs like to bring bomb squigs, but these guys
These are so messed up.
What about the guy on the right who's got the rocket strapped to his back, Alex? What happens when you fire a rocket and it's strapped to a squig's back?
Well, they are red, so
There'll be no more squig. That's what happens.
We've got the Breaker Boy Crusher to look at here. This guy's coming to battle armed with his knuckle busters, which not just smash enemies apart, but literally knock them off objectives and off the backsides of buildings and stuff. You can just literally push people away with them, which is great.
It's one of my favourite things.
Lay a spring.
Just the size of the models and the armour in particular, because we've seen like knobs in mega armour and this kind of thing, but these guys have got this really kind of visceral, tacked-on sort of feel to their armour. They've hammered these plates in.
It's represented in the game as well by the fact that these orcs actually have a 4+ save, which is really nice. They're really tough. And the last one we've got to look at, Alex, I think it's probably most of our
I hope the
favourites.
Ratling snipers have some crazy good
carries a devastating
damage.
tank hammer, and you'll like to know that he's got 2 modes he can use it with. He can just hit you with it, or he can press the big red button and he hits you with it and the rocket explodes. Results may vary.
Excuse me, so that button is grey.
Yeah.
Are you really
the fact that there's even an option, really. But yeah, what a great looking warband. They really are such cool miniatures. But let's move on to the ones that are maybe taking the spotlight a little. The Ratlings here are Herc's Hunters, a all sniper team of Ratlings, special forces sent out, experts in long range warfare, not so good at close range warfare. We'll come on to that in a little bit. And are just the coolest miniatures.
I said they are absolutely bristling with character, loads of different hats.
The goodest boy!
Tops. As I said before,
Hey, I just made a video on that.
so they've had to steal it from
That's funny.
You know, these are items of acquisition.
Of course.
You can see there on the right hand side their fixer. So the Ratlings, then again, not trusted to even have their own officers. However, you do need somebody to guide everybody, to organise stuff, and so they've got a fixer. He's managed to acquire himself some Cadian-looking armour there.
Yeah, sure. I definitely wasn't. He wasn't commissioned that. He's got some medals on his chest as well. Reckon they belong to him.
He's earned them.
He's earned them for sure.
He definitely stole them.
With his binoculars.
Absolutely.
Also, he's got a rule where he can direct the firepower of the rest of the squad, and if he shouts at something to die from a long range, it's almost certainly going to get shot. The next model we've got here is not just my favourite pun of the group, but also one of my favourite miniatures. This is the Big Shot. Look at this guy. Now, snipers in Kill Team are notoriously good at taking big guns, but this might be the biggest of them all. This gun is called a Tank Stopper Rifle, and there ain't no tanks in Kill Team that we know of, so it's a bit overkill, but even a Space Marine's in trouble when he gets shot by this thing. But that's not the best thing about the model, right?
No.
So that's how you counter those orcs.
So not only is it a beautiful model, but this rifle has been, let's say, adjusted to have a significantly larger power pack attached to it. But atop that power pack, due to the heat coming off it,
a glorious sandwich.
And grilled cheese sandwich.
Look, you got to have something to do in between reloads, right?
It looks like ham and cheese.
Sandwich. These great little details like this all over the Kill Team are just fantastic. And right, let's move on to probably the star of the show.
Oh yes.
This is everyone's favourite boyo. This is the Rattling.
The goodest boy! They have the goodest boy. Oh man. Oh cool. I might have to get just for the goodest boy.
What a cool looking model.
So cool.
Special rule, doesn't he?
He has. Now I mentioned before that the Rattlings.
Oh, special rule. See, I make a video about the goodest boy, and then they come out. It's fate. You know what I mean?
Whereas if the enemy come towards you, they can just run away. Imagine a Night Lord or Mandrakes coming towards these little Rattlings while they're eating a grilled cheese and having a cup of tea. They don't want to be there. They run away. And the Battle Mutt has got an extra special rule here where he shouts or barks a warning cry, and all the Rattlings around him just scarper for their
The
shadows
goodest
and get out
boy.
So he's a good little boy that
Most
saves
important
the team.
member of the
What
team.
A hero.
That was an absolute champion.
Well, absolutely brilliant. So there's not just all in the Kill Team box. Those 2 Kill Teams are brilliant, but it also comes with that really cool scenery before it saw as well. This is the
wow.
that comes with Brutal and Cunning, which is a great scenery piece for your Kill Team collection, but also for your 40k collection. And there's a specific game style in there as well, Alex, that lets you have bunker-style missions where one kill team is defending the bunker and one kill team is designed to smash through the walls. Now, can you guess which in the box is designed for which?
I'm going to guess that the orcs are going to make the calm and sensible decision to defend. No, they're going to destroy it.
Smashing the walls down, for sure. So there we go. That is Kill Team Brutal and Cunning, which is coming very soon. Now, speaking of Kill Team and Rattlings, Remember that model we showed you earlier on?
Yes, provisionally prepared.
That's the one.
Yes.
What's exciting here is the designers for Kill Team have actually written a special mission for that miniature here for your games of Kill Team, where these two are trying to steal the food and lunch packs in the middle of the kill zone while a battle rages on around them. So if you wanted a gaming reason to buy that miniature, there's another one on top as well, and that's just really
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
Right, on to something else.
Ooh. Some Black Templars. Oh, okay, new TV series.
That looks great.
That is amazing.
That looks really great.
And if you like what you've just seen, at the end of the stream, you can go on warhammertv.com and you can see the entirety of the short.
I'll be doing that straight away after this for sure. Right. Do you know what? I think that might be everything we've got to show. It has been a seriously wonderful stream. We've seen some fantastic stuff. Take us through what we've seen again.
So we've seen Warhammer Underworlds.
Yep.
We've been to the Mortal Realms.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen a bit of 40k with those battle forces.
Yeah, we saw.
We've seen Kill Team at the end there.
That's right.
Legions Imperialis.
Of course, not to mention we saw Gal Maraz itself actually being forged, and of course all those cool toys in between as well. It's just been a wonderful set of previews. Thank you so much, and thank you all for watching as well and joining us on Warhammer Day. I really do hope you've been painting along perhaps while you've been watching. You're going to go home and paint some of those Kill Team miniatures?
I think so.
I've got Zikit's tunnel pack on my painting desk waiting to be painted quite soon. Of course, if you want to see more of the stuff you've just seen and you want to find out more about what you've seen, there's more pictures and way more information as well right now over on the Warhammer Community website. So head over there. The next preview, Alex, the next preview is going to be in November.
Okay.
When we're heading to the World Championships and the Grand Narrative from America.
Indeed.
There will be a preview coming there as well, so do make sure you're watching out for that one. But that's all from us for now. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone in the chat. Notley, Raf, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, sir. We'll see you guys next time.
So cool. So they got some new models coming out, a new board game. They have a new Warhammer TV series. They have some 40k models, fantasy models. They had the hammer for a collective item, which is really interesting, really cool too. So a lot of cool stuff. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of that dark Mechanicum model. It felt kind of like I was trying to put words to it, but I wanted the video to keep rolling. I kind of felt it was more Necron-y than Dark Mechanicum. You know, it's supposed to be like a mixture of the Mechanicum plus Chaos, and it felt more like a Necron build. So I wasn't a huge fan of that one. Outside of that, I thought the review or the live was really fun. I thought they had some really cool models. I might have to expand upon my knights. I'm an Ultramarines player, as most of my points. I have one knight so far, but that box looks so cool. I might have to get one myself. But overall, I thought it was fun. It was fun to see. They had some cool stuff. I can't wait to see the stuff in play and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's it for the preview.